everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're speaking with Lance Cawley, who was with us last April, I believe, wasn't he? So,
That's right, yeah.
very cool guy, lots of laughs, lots of fun, lots of cool stories, and some updates he's going to be giving us. So, anyway, my name's Toby.
And my name's Paul.
So, how have you been, Lance? Thanks for coming back, by the way. It's fabulous to have you back with us again. So, thank you.
My pleasure. I'm doing well. We're in the off season now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a time where you recharge. In my case, I exercise a lot. I diet a lot. Try to get my weight down a lot, which is a good way to be faster. So
That's good. Yeah.
Talk about James Collado. Yeah.
I saw what he wrote about that.
Yeah.
And Foucault is so much later. James can't qualify, and then he had a health issue from dehydration from losing too much weight. I wasn't clear what his weight exactly was or how high he is. I'm 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 183.3 this morning on the scale. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm hungry though. I'm hungry.
You could do with a good steak. Yeah, that's it.
But the key is we try to I consume twice as many calories a day. I mean, I exercise and consume calories by burning them almost twice as many as I bring in my body. I mean, I'm exercising 95 minutes a day on average, almost every day. I can do that now, but it's the off season. There's a rumor there'll be a Ferrari Challenge test on the East Coast in the last week of January. It's not official. It's just a kind of a rumor. So that would be the first one we would do. And then I've got a new 296 Challenge car on its way here to the U.S. I think it's been shipped, but it should be here in the next month or 6 weeks. So we'll be starting with a new car.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, stunning. That's so cool. Can I ask you about your FXXK, the Evo stuff? You've been at Abu Dhabi, Hungary, Nürburgring, and Imola. Is that correct?
And I went to also Paul Ricard in France.
Right. Okay.
So I did 5 events this year. Except for Imola, I hadn't been to the other 4 tracks in my life.
Right.
And, Abu Dhabi was that's one of the finest facilities I've ever. Hold on a minute here. What just happened? I had to get rid of something. I mean,
That's all good.
it was a reminder that I have a meeting with you guys. It killed that. So it was wonderful to go to places I'd never been, drive tracks I'd never been to, and that was the purpose. One of the purposes of me joining that program. Also, I use a coach from Ferrari for each event.
Right.
They're in the right seat next to me most of the time, usually the first 2 or 3 days. And the last day, I'll take people for rides and things like that.
Nice.
And just relax a little bit. But the hands-on coaching is helpful. I'm used to a more digital, electronic coaching versus a guy in the car. He goes, why do you do that? Why you do that? Right when I'm doing it. So it's very.
How the track in Hungary, is it Balaton? I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I've actually never heard of that. That's a new one for me.
It opened last May.
Right.
It's in a nice area. Balaton's a huge lake in Hungary, about 2 hours south of the main city there.
Like Budapest, maybe.
Yeah.
Budapest, yeah. And Budapest was a beautiful city. My wife and I spent several days there and really enjoyed that. The track, I think it's a good track, but it's not like Imola or Paul Ricard. I mean, it's a good track.
Yeah.
And for a challenge race there, right before we were there, and the Ferrari had set up there for about 8 days running their programs.
Right, cool. Fantastic.
I noticed that they got the World Superbike Championship there next year, so they're sort of moving forward there.
It's a good track. I mean, it's a little. Some people complain it's a little narrow.
Yeah.
It's a new track, so some of the amenities aren't built out all around it. I mean, it's still developing. I think it was probably a good deal. I mean, I'm sure they were very excited to have Ferrari come for 7 or 8 days.
Yeah, I noticed that so it's like a private investors have obviously got it running. Shanok Nisani is one of the guys. He drove for Minardi in the did some first practice sessions for Minardi in 2005. He obviously paid Minardi to do it when they were sort of cash strapped, and he was about 13 seconds off the pace. And about 41 years old at the time, which obviously in those days were like old for being in a Formula One car, that era. But yeah, he obviously sort of helped for Minardi probably keep their
Yeah.
program running.
That's it. Yeah.
It was a nice event.
Yeah.
I'd say Paul Ricard was an extraordinary track.
Yeah.
And the hotel there was very nice, and I spent a couple days at another hotel on the coast, which was nice. The track is so wide. I mean, there's so much acres of runoff.
Yeah, lot of blue.
The only issue was it was extremely hot. We happened to hit almost record. It may have been record temperatures. It may have been 97 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh,
Wow.
So we were dealing with the heat, but wonderful track. Great facility.
Yeah.
They're going back there in the spring this year. I won't go back this year.
No.
Right.
So you're enjoying your car, are you? You're enjoying it in the car?
A lot. And
Yeah.
I took an Italian young man reached out to me, and he said it was his dream to ride an XX car, and he kept communicating with me. I won't say pestering me, but on the Sunday of the finals there, I took him. I gave him full class treatment. I had him come to hospitality, gave him a ride around in a car.
Fabulous.
He met the CEO of Ferrari. He met the chief marketing officer of Ferrari.
That's great.
He met another senior executive, took pictures.
Wow.
With him.
Luck was in.
I think the issue is after that, you go back Monday to the real world. I remember when I first went to a Formula One race and Ferrari Challenge there, I was so excited. Then you go back to work on later in the week.
Right.
So
Yeah.
kind of like
That's very difficult.
but yeah, a good time. But it rained every day at the finals.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
It was horrible weather, wasn't it? I remember watching it and seeing it was grim and wet.
I ran in the wet. I got 2 dry sessions and all the rest were wet. And I skipped one. One session was canceled. I think the track went red. It was so much.
Wow.
It rained for 5 or 6 straight days. But we got to Italy about 8 days before that, and we got to see the debut of the F80.
Yes. Yeah, we saw that online. Yeah,
That
fantastic.
private debut and a nice event at the new building, the E building, or where they call it.
Nice.
Very impressive, very nice run event, very exciting.
So did you were you allowed to take any photos, or were you told not to, or?
We couldn't take any photos at that event, except they did take a photo of us with a friend or wife or whatever standing in front of the car. They sent us that after the car went public at the I guess it was it was 1 week later. We were there on Thursday, and
That's it. Yeah.
Right.
And I know you've ordered one. Is that right, Lance?
I've been allocated one.
Yeah.
They are going to call for the deposits any day now.
All right.
In Europe, my understanding is they put a price on the car and called for deposits. They haven't technically done that here yet. I've been notified that to get ready to put up a deposit.
Just checking, did you actually see the car before you ordered it, or did you order one just because you ordered one, if you know what I mean?
Well, I haven't technically
ordered
one yet. When I put the deposit down, I'll sign a purchase order, and that could happen tomorrow or next week. It takes some. I'm sure they're sorting through a little more of the complexities of the U.S. market. We're a U.S. dollar, not euro. It's a technologically incredible car.
And were you happy when you saw the car? You were really happy with it?
I am. I know there's a lot of negativity, in
Yeah.
for chat and some of the. I
Mhm.
think most of the negativity is from people who aren't getting one.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, yeah,
And
yeah.
when
Good,
is
good.
it sort of due to come out, Lance?
I don't know. I think
No.
they're going to start delivering these cars in 6 to 9 months.
Right.
The
Yeah.
U.S. will always lag the
Right.
European market for homologation and just importing the cars. I think this
Mhm.
is a lot of these cars will be delivered in 26 in the first half of 27.
Sure. Yeah. So it's quite
Yeah,
quite a
yeah.
way yet then. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
As-
rumors are there may or may not be an Alberta version. Nobody will say anything about that.
No.
have you ordered anything as far as the specs go? Anything you could tell us about which colors you've ordered, or maybe
Well, again, we haven't technically ordered anything yet,
right?
but what color will it be?
Yeah. What would you prefer? Yeah.
It'll either be there's a new color. It's called Rosa Supercar, and
Okay.
that's the launch color. It may be Rosa Supercar or Rosa Magma.
Lovely.
Um,
That's your
Yeah.
color, isn't it? That one.
very very likely that's it, and I'll very likely do tailor made,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that'll very likely have a blue and white Nart stripe on it. So, but the car has a quite a bit already standard on it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But we're it'll probably be quite a while before I have a tailor-made appointment. They don't call for those yet, but I was told somebody in Europe has been asked to start specifying the car. I have
Okay.
I have sources from my WhatsApp little private
Yeah.
little world, but
Mhm.
and so Europe's a little ahead of us in the US. I call us the
Mhm.
colonies here. You should like.
You also went to the Cavalcade, of course, as well, which we saw a ton of that online. I think you were posting some very cool stuff there. The international that was from Tennessee to Nashville, is that right?
We
Um,
were all around Nashville for a
and
couple
then
of days,
Miami.
and then
Yeah,
they trucked our cars down to Palm Beach. They flew us down to Palm Beach. We had a lunch there, and then we drove on down to Miami. A lot of
yeah.
fun, a very nice event. And then we had the debut. We stayed for the next leg was the debut of the new 12 Cilindri.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
lovely. Yeah, yeah, amazing. Yeah.
It was amazing. It was the first ever debut of a new
Mhm.
Ferrari in the United
Mhm.
States. It's always been debuted probably in Italy or
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
some. We were at a hotel with a balcony overlooking the beach, and we watched them erect this massive building. We could walk out of our hotel that night to the event. It was massive. And
Yeah.
it
Wow.
had a stage surrounding the whole center of the building. And there would be cars. There were three or four 12 Cilindris on around us. And there would be one executive here talking, then all of a sudden like another executive here. I got to sit by the chief engineer at dinner one night, and I was
Right.
at
Wow.
a tux, not a t-shirt like now, so I was very proper.
And
That,
what car did you take, Lance? What car did you take with you?
I took a 296 GTS.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. That's what you had
Yeah.
this year, isn't it?
This year is the year they decide to deliver a lot of cars to me. So
Okay.
I go
Right.
from very few cars delivered to a whole bunch of cars all at once. So uh, it was a wonderful event. Really glad I got to go.
The Ferrari Challenge, you've been very busy, so I guess you haven't done too many races this year, is that right?
This year was a transition year. I ran my 488,
Yeah.
and I only did a couple races this year.
Yeah.
Waiting to let the 296 kind of be vetted out, and
Yeah.
focused on XX. Next year, I plan to do the first four race weekends for first
Yeah.
8 races, and then when I get to the fifth one, I have to decide. It's a good problem to have whether I go to Watkins Glen
Yeah.
or I go to Spain.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of decide. Spain in July is hot, but I've been to Watkins Glen a dozen times
Yeah.
maybe. And we can drive from our home up in Virginia to the Glen. I took the Pure Sanguine up there this year.
Oh, nice.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the XX program, do you have to do a sort of a minimum amount of circuits you have to go to, part of the program, or is it up to you?
That if you do two or more events,
Yeah,
excluding the finals,
yeah,
the cost of storing your car is less.
yeah,
There's a discount. So, I did 4 events plus the finals
yeah.
this year, and I plan to do 4 or 5 events next year. I have my plans are to do. I'm going to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia
Oh,
in
wow.
early February.
That's
Um,
fantastic.
and that'll be neat. It's right on the Red Sea. I have somebody who has worked with me for many years, is there most of the time, and he'll be able to come,
Yeah,
be able to host him.
yeah.
And then I'm going to go to Monza. I've never been to Monza.
Wow.
Oh,
Fantastic.
And I think that's in March or April. I can put my calendar up over here. So that's on the schedule.
yeah,
That's I'll fly into Milan there. I've really never been to Milan. I've always been farther south or a lot farther the other direction.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to that. And then the challenge will start in Sonoma.
yeah,
Uh, then we'll go to Daytona, and then the Miami Autodrome, the
yeah.
new,
Yeah.
and then we'll go to Indianapolis.
Oh, great.
And if I go Watkins Glen, and the
Yeah.
last U.S. race is in Sonoma. No, I missed
Fantastic.
that. The last race is Laguna Seca. The first is Sonoma.
Oh, Laguna State.
Right.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't have any Florida races this year in Challenge.
Yeah,
Next year's too, so it's a little better for me.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And you still have to try and have two cars, like you said before, if you've got a problem with one.
I'm just starting with one.
Yeah,
I
okay.
I don't have to. We're going to see how it goes. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fiercely competitive. I don't know what the driver groupings will be. They set that, at the
Right.
beginning of the year, and then sometimes they often adjust it slightly after 2 race weekends. A lot of new people. We don't know where a lot of the 488 guys will
Yeah.
land. I'll be in Shell. That
Yeah.
seems very likely. But we don't know. Some 488s will be in Shell or Pirelli. We just don't know. Yeah.
Sure.
We were at Le Mans, obviously, this year, 24, for the second win, and which was incredible. Of course, we're all that last stint was just absolutely incredible. I think that'll be talked about for years as in motorsport legends. But
So about a day before I was going to Hungary, maybe 2 days, Ferrari Challenge, the head of Ferrari Challenge, contacted me and said, because you do a lot, you did this and that, we'd like to invite you to come to Le Mans, and we'll actually. I didn't have, I don't know if I want to say pay, like it was very economical. So, but I was leaving for Hungary in a day or two, and my wife, she couldn't do both. So I had a friend who comes to many of my races. He has a camera that's like 6 feet long or something, and a good friend I met through Ferrari, the Ferrari Club, and he comes to a lot of F1 races and my races. I rung him up. I said, "Do you want to go to Le Mans with me?" "I can't do that. I'm too busy." And about an hour later, he calls it, "Yeah, let's go to Le Mans." So we had to really scramble. I remember booking the air flight when I was at the airport to go to Hungary. My wife helped us
That's
with all.
great.
And we went, and Ferrari put us up in an ancient castle, 600 years old, but it had a newer part. And we had an incredible time. My friend had an incredible time. I had a friend there who won the championship in Ferrari Challenge a year before and knew some people. And he was racing in the Road to Le Mans. And he came
Right.
in both races, and we spent time with him. And Casa Ferrari was incredible. And then we were there
Yeah.
to see him in. And you didn't know for sure because the fuel, or
Yeah.
they call it fuel, the energy store was
Yeah.
too close. They're down to 2%, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we were at Casa Ferrari, and the executives came in there. The drivers were there. All 6 drivers were there. And we were really, they were celebrating and singing, and we were drinking. And when you're
Mhm.
so much emotion and you're hugging like the the chief marketing officer, you're all and they're like, "Do you want another glass of champagne?" And yeah, we drank we drank a little bit. We were there till we didn't get to the hotel. I mean, we didn't get in the night before till 2 a.m. It was everything's complicated. We don't know French, and it was always hard
Right.
getting people. This castle was in a nondescript, like a hole in a stone wall, and no driver could ever get us back to the same spot. And we're riding around. And
Wow. Wow.
so
That's hilarious. Yeah.
some of the guys in the hyper clubs stay in these steel containers,
That's right. Yeah, yeah. They've
Mhm.
the drivers stay in that sort of
and they're
motor park.
convenient, but they resonate sound.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Any little sound like next in the coat hangers in the one next to you, I heard these guys talking, makes an enormous wreck. But we had a good time, and we got to go out into some restaurants, and I used my Google Translator, and
There
we
you
had
go.
a
Yeah.
wonderful. I mean, it was an extraordinarily emotional event,
Yeah.
and it fully describe how great it was. So
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think it's one of the most amazing events, sporting like motorsport events. I mean, I know there are some, Monaco, of course, in the Indy 500, there are some amazing events out there, but Le Mans, there's something about it. It's just very special,
it's
and
big. I mean, it's huge. I got to drive
yes,
the track and race there in the challenge the year before, and it's just a huge undertaking. It's been going on. It was 100 years the year before, so I guess
that's right.
and the people. I did the drivers' parade the year before, and the people were very passionate,
Mhm.
and it was nice seeing my friends racing there, and they did. Alexander Balzone is his co-driver with Matt and Krajewski,
Mhm.
and they had a good time. And it's fun seeing. It's fun going to events when you know a lot of people. And
Yeah,
um, one executive was coming down the stairs, and chief marketer said, "How you doing, Lance?" And I said, "Still Benny, you too." So I had one little luck with some good. He's just so he's like, "That's amazing." But I got to character now. It's limited.
what are your plans for 2025? What's happening? What's new for you?
Well, we're gonna hopefully we'll do 4 challenge weekends, 8 races, more if I'm
Mhm.
doing well. I'm eligible now in the U.S. for the Gentleman's Trophy. After
Right.
this is my 10th year of racing for a challenge
Wow.
coming in. I've done 96 official races. I will break over 100, which will put me in. Very few people have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Wow.
plan to do. As I said, I'll go to Jeddah, Saudi. I'll go to
Hmm.
Malta. I will go to Spa in September. Never been.
Fantastic.
Of course, I'll go to Mugello. I've been there 3 times before. Had great racing success there. I may do Spain. I may pick up another thing. I was able to have some family members who lived in Germany come to. So I did Germany this year as well.
Great, great.
That's at Nürburgring, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
Nürburgring, and I did well there. I had some relatives come to visit, got to take them for a ride in a car, and they can drive to Spa. It's about the same distance from where
Hmm.
they are. And I want to host them for like 2 days and give them the full treatment. I did get to put them two of them in the car, and they had a time do a little more of that. So challenge I have to kind of see. At some point I'll have to say I'll do this. I always will do the Pebble Beach Ferrari Rally. I did that this year
Hmm.
in Casa Ferrari, and that's a lot of fun. I got to show. They asked me to bring my 812 Compensione tailor made to Casa Ferrari
Nice.
Beach. I got to put it on the lawn and show it, and
Beautiful.
that was fun. So, I mean, next year I they'll be building my SF90 XX TaylorMade Spider.
Yeah.
I went a little overboard on that.
Tell us. Oh, we want to hear about this. Yeah. This sounds fun.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to go with it, but they said you can do the carbon package. So
Right.
So I have some tailor-made cars with a blue and white nard stripe. So we said we'll do blue carbon fiber and then do white on the sides. So
Wow.
it's got all this blue carbon fiber, but the rest of the car is a Rosa Magnum.
Hmm.
But then we couldn't figure out what wheels to get. And I finally said, can you do blue carbon fiber wheels? And they said, yeah, we can do that. Now it's still in like parentheses on the build sheet, but
Right.
so we went all out on it. It's going to be an extraordinary car with all the blue carbon fiber. It'll have the American flag on the end plates.
Oh,
Wow.
It'll have my XX number on the door. It's just
Mhm.
it's an extraordinary build. It went a little overboard for me, but I think it'll be beautiful.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Great story. So you've got Monza next year coming up and Spa, two tracks you've never been to before.
Two
And
destination tracks, two bucket list tracks. That's why I'm in the program. And I mean,
yeah.
I could do challenge in Europe, but it would be hard to be competitive. You know, with the Europeans, they're so good. They know the tracks.
yeah,
They practice the tracks, and I would be flying jet lag and, fighting. I know other people that do it for the experience, but for me, the turnkey solution with XX was the best way to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame that there's no Silverstone next year, which is we were
Absolutely.
hoping for.
I was a little disappointed.
Yeah,
We're going to do the GT Compensione or whatever they call it, the GT program at Silverstone, but not. If you guys didn't do Brexit, it wouldn't be such a big issue.
yeah.
Yeah, we agree with that. Yeah.
So, I talked to him, and it's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, but it is. Yeah,
The car's over there. So they did it 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I suspect they'll do it the following year. I want to go to Silverstone.
yeah. It can't be too far off. Hopefully now. Yeah,
No, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's a great track. I think out of the Spa and Monza, it's difficult I mean, I've been to both of those tracks, and I have to say, I love Spa. I've been 3 times, but I'm going to say Monza's it for me. Like being a Ferrari fan, when you're at Monza, the history of that circuit, and the passion of the fans, it's
Well,
amazing.
I like to go to Italy. I spend
Yeah.
usually 2 weeks a year, 1 or 2 weeks a year, and I've been working hard trying to learn a lot of the language, and I just really
Right.
look forward to going to Italy. The food is fabulous. I did get 6 pounds when I went to Italy last time. That's not bad though. 6 pounds.
No, that's pretty good. That's reasonable. Yeah.
I took a week or so to recover from that, but I love going to Italy, and but I don't know much about Belgium. It's just south of Germany there a little bit, I look forward to going. It's an incredible track. Some of that track scares me even in the simulator.
yeah.
I mean, Eau Rouge is when you see Eau Rouge in person, it's a lot steeper than it appears on the TV. It's sky, it's pretty crazy.
Turn 1 at Coda's like that, but it's a little slow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to that. That's most of what I have scheduled for next year. They're probably going to debut a specialty version of the 296, in the spring.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do that in Italy. I don't necessarily think they will, but if there's a debut of a new car, I love going to Italy and being at those events and seeing people. I got to sit next to Flavio at lunch at the last one and talk to him for a while,
Oh, fantastic.
and I meet some other engineers, and it's nice that they know you and they know your team, and it makes me feel good. I did tell they're going to make an XX version of the F90.
Right. Wow. Okay.
I told one of the executives I want to put that on track and see what it'll do.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
It should be amazing. They won't start really developing that for almost another year, based on what I hear. And
Right.
also in October, my wife did Corsa Piloti
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
at Floriano.
Oh, lovely.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember you saying last time you were going around Fiorano. That's right. How was it?
Well, she did great. She did great. And it was fun being there. I went out to a cooking class, drank wine and stuff, but I would go over and visit. They took me around the track, and I know most of the coaches. They're the same coaches in XX and all around, but it's fun. It was fun, and that was special. We stayed in Modena. We went to Venice for 2 nights. We just had a good time. So I'm able to mix some pleasure with just with challenge. I'm on track 5 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Days traveling, but with XX, I'm on track 2 to 4 days, and I get to do some things with my wife and sightsee a little bit. So
yeah,
I'm going to be. There's a handful of people who do both programs, and for as long as I can, I plan to try to do both programs. That's
fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. So your wife did well, though. I hope everything, there was no issues, and she had a great time.
She did. I mean, some people get so excited. It's their first time at the track. She's done Corsa Peloti before, and she did well, and it makes her a better driver. And we knew another wife that was in the program, so they gave her somebody to sit with and talk to, and they had a good time.
Yeah, you don't see so much of the program now. I've noticed the Pelota program. It sort of looks a little bit lower than it used to be. In terms of where they go and what they do.
The schedule for the U.S. just came out a week or two ago. They go to usually the same tracks, but they'll do like thermal here, Miami, Indianapolis. They do different things, and then they do it in Europe. I did have a gentleman who I'm friends with, and his daughter's 16, just turning 17, but she wants to do Corsa Peloti.
Yeah.
And she can't do that in the U.S. because of her age, but I've helped him get in touch with the right people at Ferrari. She can do that at maybe 1 or 2 tracks in Europe. So she's working on that. So it'll be fun.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic, Lance. Thanks so much. It's been a great hang as always. So
couple real quick. I'll be at Cavallino here in Jupiter, Florida. I'll be at Cavallino in January, which is a great event. I'll be an honorary judge again.
Oh, great!
Fantastic.
I'm still learning. I'm not that. I mean, it's hard to. I'm not an expert in judging cars. I look forward to doing that again. And my SP3 Daytona tailor should arrive any moment now. It's
I actually meant to ask you about that. It's on the way. That's my dream car. That's it. You've stolen my heart.
It's been, as far as I know it's been up in the port facility, and hopefully it'll drop into Atlanta here. I want to thank my wife for her support, and Ferrari of Atlanta has been extraordinarily good dealer for me, and they've taken me from from where I am today, from where I started, was just I had so much to learn and do. So I just got a SF90 Spider delivered. I drove that yesterday. It's got a lot of power.
Wow. Yeah. SF90 does have a lot of power. And
85 and hit it and just be at 105 and snap your fingers. But you guys have a wonderful we celebrate Thanksgiving here this week. I know you don't do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great rest of the weekend and great holiday. I'll see
you too. Later. And happy Thanksgiving. And thanks so much, Lance. It's great to see you again. And good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Lance. Speak to you soon. Thank you.